Hustlers, keep up the good work, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Oh, shit. They got some new shit on here. I don't know what that is. Okay, okay. Guys, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. This is cutting edge content. YouTube. What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on 5 sleepers. 5 sleepers. Now, listen, I'm not saying all these guys are going to hit, but if you out there and you need to find a guy to put in the flex play, and you don't know who you can pick up, who you can trust, I got 5 guys that I feel like you can choose the best one for you, and you could put them in as a sleeper and hope for the best. Sometimes that's what we got to do. We just got to find the best player that we can find for a flex play and put them in there and let the chips fall where they may fall. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. What's going on, Ian Taylor? He said, Ian Taylor says, TD under the blue Carolina skies. You know I love it. The outside lives, they kill. They do very well with the YouTube algorithm, so I'm going to keep doing it. The studio ones has never showed me no respect. Never showed me any respect. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, while the chat, the questions, guys, you come in, you got any stars and sits, questions, anything you may have, put it in this chat. Flood the chat with the 100 symbol. Let me know that you're supporting the live. And let's go. So, the first guy that I want to talk about that's a sleeper, and he actually plays tonight, so you have to make this decision tonight. It's going to be Jalen Hyatt, and he's going against the Eagles. Now, listen, I'm not saying this guy is one of the best wide receivers on the Giants, but coming out of college, he was really, really good. And I saw him play against Patrick Surtain, and he did very well against Patrick Surtain in college. So, if you need a guy for a boom play, I think Jalen Hyatt could score. I'm actually betting $10 for anytime touchdown. I'm not saying he's going to score an anytime touchdown, but I'm willing to bet that to get a big prize. And if the $10 don't hit, it's okay. But Jalen Hyatt, guys, is one of the fastest wide receivers in the league. He can make a big play. Jackson Dart has a big arm, and all it takes is for a double move and Jalen Hyatt to score a 70-yard touchdown. That's what his superpower is. So I like Jalen Hyatt if you need a boom play tonight. For a sleeper. Okay, moving on to another sleeper. And this guy might not be a sleeper, but I feel like this guy might still be out there on your waivers, because a lot of people might not even pick him up because they maybe wanted to pick up Hassan Haskins. But the guy that I'm talking about is going to be Kamani Vidal. Now, listen, he was a waiver wire pickup, but I see in my leagues, he's still on the waivers. Some people's not playing this guy. So I'm thinking, guys, you should play him. Now listen, is it going to be him or Hassan Haskins? I don't know, but what tells me that Kamani Vidal is going to be in the game. He's going to get some PPR targets. He's going to catch at least 2 to 3 passes. And so right now, I think this is going to be a hot hand approach, and I'm betting on Kamani Vidal, seeing how he played when he was with Troy. I think he can have a big play. So Kamani Vidal should not be out there on your waivers. And also, you can pick him up and play him as a sleeper, and he's going against the Dolphins, who's been giving it up behind the dumpster. Okay. What's going on, Charlene? What's going on, Ian Taylor? Yes, sir, Senor Reha. Okay, so the next guy I want to talk about is going to be Jimmy Horn from the Carolina Panthers, and they playing against the Cowboys. And the Cowboys defense is giving up behind the dumpster. But Jimmy Horn, guys, had 3 targets, and he caught 3 passes, and he caught a big pass to help them win the game, to go down there and win that game. So Jimmy Horn, I think his role is going to keep growing. They fading out Hunter Renfrow. Now, I'm not saying they're going to sit Xavier Leggett or they're going to sit Jalen Coker, but Jimmy Horn is going to get some manufactured targets because of his special role. He's the fastest wide receiver on this team, and when the ball is in his hand, he can make big plays because he's fast. He runs a low 4.4. So I like Jimmy Horn going against the Dallas Cowboys if you need to stream a sleeper guy. All right, moving on, guys. I got 2 more guys left. The next guy is going to be Kendrick Bourne. And maybe he's not a sleeper. Maybe everybody is on this. But listen, if Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall don't play, am I bad to say that Kendrick Bourne is a top 24 wide receiver if Jennings and Pearsall was out and they didn't practice today? So I'm playing Kendrick Bourne. So if somebody went and dropped Kendrick Bourne to go pick up somebody off the waivers, and you see Kendrick Bourne, pick him up, and he's a top 24 wide receiver if Ricky Pearsall doesn't play and Juwan Jennings doesn't play. Matt Jones is one of the best quarterbacks in the league on a per-game basis. Ever since he's been starting, Matt Jones has been delivering. Who? Matt Jones. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot and they all on me, Matt Jones. So I like Kendrick Bourne going against the Buccaneers for a shootout and for him to get those 10 targets that he got last week if Juwan Jennings and Ricky is out. Okay, moving on to my last guy. It's going to be Luther Burton from the Chicago Bears going against the Commanders. And guys, the week before the bye week that they had, he didn't, I think he got 1 or 2 targets and they didn't connect on it, but they is trying to get this guy manufactured targets. He's one of their best deep threats. Now, Roman Dunze is like that, but so is Luther Burton. And I think they're going to trade DJ Moore. So if you want to stash Luther Burton, even if you don't want to play him this week for a sleeper, that's fine. But I want to have this guy on my team when DJ Moore is traded. I think he's better than Olamide Zaccheaus. When they said Juan, I heard that Juan didn't practice today. I heard he wasn't at practice. That's what I heard. But I could be off, B. Wayne. I could be off. But even if Juwan Jennings plays, I still like Kendrick Bourne to play him as a flex play. Yes, he is still a good player. Yes, he is, no matter what. But what I was reading, I wish I could share that information. Guys, look at the likes. So we got 26 people in here. We only got 6 likes. But even with Juwan Jennings playing, I still like Kendrick Bourne a lot. That 10 targets from Matt Jones, that feels good. I love Matt Jones when it comes to hyper-targeting. Guys, he broke out Brian Thomas Jr., and we see how Brian Thomas Jr. is playing now. Not well. So, all right, guys. So let's get to some of the questions in the chat. Senor Rojas says, keep up the good work, bro. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Ian Taylor says, TD under the blue Carolina skies. Yes, sir, Ian. Charlene says, bad weather in Baltimore and Washington. Check it out before the game. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Charlene. And got a super chat from the one and only Doomsday Corner Sports. He says, what up, TD? Great show. He said what he said. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. That's my homie right there. Always supporting the channel. Guys, go check his channel out, too. Doomsday has a channel, too. This is a former professional baseball player. Appreciate you, bro. Senor Rojas says, I had Vidal on my bench all last year. The kid is fire. Yes, the kid can play. He just needs an opportunity. Nigel, what's up, Nigel? He says, flex, Judy, Cup, or Haskins. Man, it's hard for me to play Judy with Dylan Gabriel. I think he's going to target a lot of tight ends. He's going to be targeting Fannin. He's going to be targeting David Njoku, and he might hit Judy a couple times. But I'm not going to bet on Judy with Dylan Gabriel as the quarterback. I'm waiting for Shadir to get in there before I can play Judy. Cooper Kupp, I think that's the guy I'm going to tell you to play because I don't know about Haskins. But listen, if you want to start Haskins, okay. So if you want to start Haskins, be ready to go down with the ship. If Kamani Vidal ends up taking over, be okay with that. But I do think he can get a goal line touch. But he may not. And he may not score. He might have like 10 carries for 38 yards and no TDs. And so and maybe 2 catches. So I'm worried about that. But him picking him up off waivers, maybe you want to play him. Kupp, man, is very volatile. But guess what? And one of my subscribers gave me this data yesterday. He said that Cooper Kupp only got 2 less targets than JSN. So Cooper Kupp is getting targets. So if you're in full PPR, maybe you can play Cooper Kupp. I just don't want to tell you Haskins unless your expectations for Haskins is correct. And if you're going to play Haskins, you got to have the right expectations. Kupp, he's getting the targets. Charlie says, I have both Haskins and Vidal, and I like that because that's going to be a 4-week thing. Omari Hampton should be out for 4 weeks, so that way you can see what happens the first game, like we saw what happened between DeMarcado and Carter, and we can make a decision to play Carter this week. That's going to be the same thing with Haskins and Vidal. State Burrito says, it is American football, he say. Yes, it is. Charlie says, I also picked up Darren Waller. Great job. Darren Waller is their goal line wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. B. Wayne says, Jawan practiced today. Thank you for that information. Haza says, my name, B. Wayne says, I can dig it. Okay. Vamo says, my number 1 wide receiver is Debo. I'm cooked. No, you're not. because you could have studs like CMC and Derrick Henry and Jahmyr Gibbs. So you can, you can rotate wide receivers, man. It's okay to have lower tier wide receivers, not running back. But it depends on if you can find the sleepers per year, like rookie running backs, then you can be okay. But there's nothing wrong with Debo being your number one wide receiver, especially if you have a good quarterback and some good running backs and a tight end. Pause. Morton Torres in the building. What's up, Morton Torres? Let's get the likes up, fellas. We got 30 people in here. We only got 14 likes. Charlene says, in my money league, we use wide receiver tight end slot instead of just a tight end slot. That's what we do too, Charlene. I agree. I play in leagues. My leagues are set up like that. And I'm still want you to get in the league, Charlene. You don't want to get in one of my leagues. B. Silver says, start Tungus, Jonah, or Theo Johnson. I'm gonna say Tungus. Tungus. Tungus or Theo. I'm going with Tungus because of the Philadelphia defense. I'm a little worried about that defense, and I think they probably double team the seam routes against Theo. He's been killing people and scoring touchdowns in the green zone. That's the only guy that Jackson Dart is throwing touchdowns to right now. So you can play Theo. I'm going with Tungus. I like Tungus a little bit better. I like Matt Jones throwing the ball over 30 times. So I'm going to go with Tungus and again Theo. But if you went with Theo, bro, there's nothing wrong with that. It's tomato between Tungus and Theo. Even though Theo got a tough matchup, he's scoring a lot of touchdowns. I'm a little bit worried about being so touchdown dependent, but I think Tungus gets more targets in a 4 PPR league. But Theo got the best touchdown upside. B. Wayne says, just up. I appreciate you, bro. Yes, sir. Congratulations. Khalid says, someone trying to trade me Kamara for Henderson. Should I accept it? No. I would keep Henderson over Kamara, even though Kamara might get traded to a really good team. Not all sweet and sour says, rocking with you from the Great Wall of China, fam. Yes, sir. He says, Bourne or Flournoy this week based on the matchup. Very comparable. Yes, it is. I'm going with Bourne. Because Ricky Pearsall, I know, is out, and Juwan Jennings has a chance to play, according to one of my subs. So I would say go down with Bourne. We're not playing on Flournoy. We need to see that again. Too many mouths to feed on that Cowboys offense in the passing game. New says, should I start Dart tonight or Justin Fields? I will go ahead and play Justin Fields against the Eagles defense. And they lost last week too. That makes me nervous. Shawnee says, be careful. The Chargers O-line is weak. Yes, they are. They in shambles. They are in shambles. B. Silver says, Chris Godwin trending towards sitting. Yes, he is. Chris Godwin is trending towards sitting, so that's good. Otten a play, yes. Otten is a play if you need a tight end. If there's nobody else better on the waivers. If you don't have Mason Taylor, Kyle Pitts, some of these guys, Theo Johnson, then yes, you can play Otten. Got another super chat from Tug Drug Fishing. He says, what up, TD? 1-4, not looking good for fantasy. Also not looking good in life right now. Mentally checked. Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir. Hey, it's okay, man. We here. I'm here for you, bro. Appreciate you being here. He says, any advice and also some prayers. Yes, bro. Always some prayers. My Holy Spirit is always praying for people that I don't even know. I said what I said. My Holy Spirit is praying for stuff that I don't know nothing about. People I don't know nothing about. It's working behind the scenes for me. As long as I'm out here grinding and doing my thing. A lot of people won't understand that. Maybe a couple people will. So, bro, you're going to be good. And I'm going to tell you something. All you got to do is love yourself and be a monster at whatever you're doing. And I promise you will come out on the better end. So if you got to go to work, be a monster at work. Work hard. Try to get that raise. Try to be the best person you can be at work. Try to be the best person that you can be in anything you can do. And next thing you know, you weathered the storm. You came out on a better end. And now you got a lot of blessings in front of you because you've been working hard. Faith without works is dead. So make sure that you got the faith that what you're trying to do in life and put your feet down to the ground and go get it, bro. Can't nobody stop you. That's why that's why I don't blink when I'm talking. That's why I'm so passionate. That's why people say I'm yelling because I I love myself and I put myself first, and I'm gonna be a monster whatever I'm doing. I don't care what nobody else says. But go for fantasy right now, bruh. Keep working the waiver wire. Keep working the waiver wire and trust your studs. Dance with the girl that you came to the party. So if you got some studs like a Jamar Chase or Brian Thomas Jr., they're gonna be okay. You just got to put them in the lineup. Don't try to get cute and play somebody just because they had a good game. Don't play Kendrick Bourne over Brian Thomas Jr. Play Brian Thomas Jr. If you got Justin Fields and that's the quarterback that you drafted, well, dance with the girl that you came to the party with. Play Justin Fields. Now, if you got somebody else on the waivers that's trending like a Jordan Love, play him. But don't go get no Jackson Dart and sit Justin Fields, because it might not work out for you. So in order for you to feel good and learn from your mistakes and make better moves for next year, you have to see what players really are. And if you keep rotating them, you won't never know what your player is. Same thing in life. If you keep rotating a bunch of girls and you're not really pressing them and understanding who they are for what they can do for you and how they can make your life better and how y'all can come together as a team, then you don't know why nothing worked out. You won't know why you don't have a particular person in your life, or why your life is a certain type of way. So you have to stick with what you know and go down with the ship as a man. Hopefully that helped you out, bro. I love that the super chat, man, and I love that you are being vulnerable. And listen, we all go through stuff as man. Don't be scared of that. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Okay, Paul, what's up, bro? He says, what's up? He says, would you consider trading Chuba for Montgomery? Yes. I mean, if that's what you like, man, if you want Montgomery, I don't think it's a bad move. He's on an optimal offense. He's going to always have chances to score goal line and green zone touches. And Chuba right now, man, it looks like that Rico and Chuba could be rotating when everything is healthy. So that worries me. And that's probably making me have a miss on Chuba this year. But I still love Chuba as a player. But maybe it's time to try to get off of him if you can and go get a Montgomery. I don't think that's a bad trade. I think that's a good, solid trade. Vamos says, my running backs are B. John, Jacobs, Judkins, and Warren. My quarterback is Mahomes, and my tight end is Ferguson. Okay, you killing. You got a killer squad. You got B. John and Jacobs and Judkins. Ian Taylor says, Josh Downs or Jamison Williams. I'm going with Jamison Williams, Ian Taylor, but you know what that is. You smart. You know, you very intelligent when it comes to fantasy. So you know Jamison has been volatile, but I don't want to miss the boom game. And I have the team where I can keep starting them in most leagues. I may sit them in a few leagues because I got really, really good bench players in that league. But most leagues, I'm playing Jamison because the tougher the matchup, I think it's going to be better for Jamison. When it's easy, he may score and he may not. But I think they need him against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going to play him, bro. They're going to try to take Amon-Ra St. Brown away. That coconut water, guys. Drink that coconut water. You know, real water is not bad for you. It's good for you. But it doesn't have any nutrients in it like this type of water. It's a man that he's been 40 years, he's never drunk no water. What he does, he's eat watermelon, he eats fruit, he eats pineapples, he eats a lot of fruit that has water content in it. Most of fruit is like 70% water. We made up of 70% water. So make sure you're getting stuff that got nutrients in it. That way you also getting the good stuff from fruit, and then you getting hydrated too. And I can tell a difference when I go out of work and I just drink a bunch of water, my mouth be dry. But when I eat my lemons, I eat my watermelon, I'm eating grapes, lips be juicy. Oh, pause. Just telling you, because coming out of work, guys, that wind dries me out. Pause. Charlene says, I don't want to take your money, TD. Bull crap. I see you trolling. You just scared. You don't want me to win, and then next thing you know, you make a comment. I say, well, Charlene, remember, that's why I won. You don't want that. You don't want me to say that. That's what it really is. Zamalik says, Goddard or Mason Taylor. I'm going with Mason Taylor. Zamalik says, I traded Jamar and Swift for CD and Henderson. I think CD with the way Dak is playing, I'd rather have CD than have Jamar. You just got to be patient because CD is out right now. Then you got Henderson, who could be a league winner, who is now the number 2 running back since Antonio Gibson went down. I think that's a good move. That's a good move. JC in the building. He says picked up Dart last week, got Lamar, or I can pick up Rod, pick a Rod, Bryce, or Purdy. A Rod or Bryce or Purdy. I got Lamar, or I can pick up Rod, Bryce, or Purdy. So I think Bryce has a great matchup. I like Rod sneaky. Purdy ain't playing this week. So Dart is fine. Listen, if you already got Dart, he got a rushing upside. I think he gets a rushing touchdown today. I really do. I think Dart gets a rushing touchdown today. Or he has 4 or 5, I would say 40 or 50 yards rush. Excuse me. So I would play Dart or Bryce. I would play Dart or Bryce Young. Charlene says, I pray for everyone and everything. Thank you, Charlene. B. Wayne says, Justin gonna get you 20. Okay. He's just playing from behind and passing and the running may come in the fourth. I agree with that, B. Rain. That's why I told people's like, should I say Justin? I said, listen, that garbage time is crucial. Justin be killing it in garbage time. Justin be killing it in garbage time. I agree 100% with that. Tug Drug says, thank you. I lost all my matches by less than 14 points. Also had Burrow running with Daniels. Okay. Got you, bro. Just keep weathering the storm. Keep working the waiver wire. Everything will come in if it supposed to. Perfect Black. Thank you, bro. He's the first one. He says, man, congrats on your 4K, big dog. Thank you, bro. Yes, sir. Lower my camera. Is that better, Charlene? Is that better? I think Charlene want to see my drip. Charlene want to see my drip. Stacy, what's going on, girl? She says, hey, I lost neighbors in Hampton. King Henry ain't doing squat. Right, but we remember he may not be doing anything. His quarterback is hurt, but we gotta Senor, stop it. Stop it, Senor. But you have to play the best guys that you got on your squad, no matter what their situation is. He says, she said, would you trade Herbert and Henry for Kyler Murray and A-Chain? I'm okay with the Henry for A-Chain. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that all day. But I'm not okay with Herbert for Kyler Murray. He also has Judkins and Bijan. I would try to get Judkins. I would stream the quarterback, and I would try to. It's going to be hard for you to get Judkins. I have Josh Allen, Breach, and Michael Carter. Okay. So I think you need to concentrate on the Henry for A-Chain. Try to get A-Chain, but I would not do the Kyler Murray. I don't want Kyler Murray. Keep Josh Allen, and you can stream a quarterback if you need to. If you get in super flex league, you can find another streamable quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or somebody. But I would not trade Herbert and get Kyler Murray. But I do like the Henry for A-Chain because maybe you need to win right now. I don't know your record. So maybe you got to make that move to see you can get win. But if you could hold off, Henry's going to be okay once Lamar come back. But you need to wait about 2 more weeks. If you can stand the rain. Big Rowan says, I'm playing Ingram over Jawan Johnson. Yes, this week. But I think Theo Johnson goes off tonight. Dart ain't got no one, right, other than Theo Johnson and Jalen Hyatt. Tug Drug says, Ladd, Stevenson, Carter, PPR. I'm going with Ladd. I'm going to go with Ladd, but you can play Michael Carter too. It's between whatever you want to do. Reason why I'm going with Ladd, man, because I believe that they got to get the ball out quick. So that helps with Ladd because Ladd is the underneath guy, him and Keenan Allen. But listen, Michael Carter's not a bad play. So it's between Ladd and Michael Carter. I'm going to leave that up to you. I like Ladd personally, but there's nothing wrong with you playing Michael Carter over Ladd. Got another super chat from Doomsday, my homie. He says, congrats on 4K, Brody. Brody, keep up the good work. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Jay Moore says, what's good, TD? Heading to get some fruit now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get my other drink real quick, because I need some more. This is my cold press, organic. Cold press, organic. I'm on my health chase. I'm getting old, guys. I'm almost 40. I know y'all be thinking I'm real old because I got the great guys. If I dye my gray hair, I'll look 28. I said what I said. If I dye my gray hair, I will look 28. I said what I said. Charlene says the camera's better now. You just want to see my drip. That's all you want to. Here you go. You see it? That's all you want to see, Charlene. Tucking Game says King Crook. He said you look like King Crook. Vips 2 times says got offered CD for Waddle. For Waddle. Got offered CD Lamb for Jalen Waddle and Scatterbo. But if I get rid of Waddle, I need to start Golden, Williams, and Henderson. Okay, I think that trade is okay. Because you're getting CeeDee Lamb, who's with the best quarterback, but you got to be patient. You consolidating right now. So there's nothing wrong with giving up Waddle and Scatterbo, even though Waddle and Scatterbo are good plays. That can help somebody team out, but it doesn't matter for you. You're trying to get CeeDee Lamb, which is going to be a 20-point guy in about 3 weeks here, 3 to 4 weeks here, and then going into the next quadrant. And there's nothing wrong with starting Golden. I would start Golden. He's more safer than Williams. But actually, man, you know what? I got those same 3 guys on my team. Golden, Williams, and Henderson. Different leagues, I'm starting different guys. I'm starting Henderson as a flex in one league, and I won't take him out. And it doesn't matter what he score. So I like Henderson. I don't know if this is going to be his breakout week or not, but I'm still starting him. Williams, Jameson Williams, man, I like him, but I know it's volatile, and I'm not, as a professional, I don't want to tell you to play a guy that's going to dud you. Golden's going to be okay, but it's a lot of mouths to feed, and damn Christian Watson is back. But I still like Golden. I think Henderson is probably the safest guy. Low, I don't know if he can boom, but I think he's going to get at least 12 touches. So I'm good with that. So I would say Henderson, then I'll go with Golden, then Williams. Henderson, Golden, then Williams. 3 Strikes says, what up, bruh? Tet or AJ Brown? And if Chuba plays, do I play White over Rico? No. Yes. If Chuba plays, I would play with Rashad White over Rico. Correct. But if Chuba doesn't play, Rico all day, and I'm playing AJ Brown over Tet, you can never sit AJ Brown. I'm always gonna tell y'all guys that even if y'all don't listen, that's okay. That's fine. It's your team, and I understand why you're not playing AJ Brown. So I'm not gonna chastise you like that. Because I know y'all guys are not gonna come back and say, man, I shouldn't have started this guy. That's the only thing that I'm big on teaching. I don't want you to have regrets. So I'm playing AJ Brown. Anytime I got an AJ Brown on my team, he's young, he's not hurt, I'm playing him. So I would play AJ Brown over Ted. 3 Strikes says, congrats on the 4K. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Jay Moore says, I just noticed Benson was dropped on waivers. So I'm looking to stash him and Woody, and if I have the bench space. Yes, big facts, Jay Moore. B-Dub, what's up? He says, I'm in a 12-team full PPR redraft. Would you take Bucky and Michael Carter for Ja'Cory Cross-Gamary, Rashad White, and Josh Down? I'm not giving up Ja'Cory Cross-Gamary. No, you keep Ja'Cory Cross-Gamary. That's going to be a league-winning player. We're not giving that up. No, sir. I think Ja'Cory Cross-Gamary is doing this even more than Bucky now. Yes, the injury does matter, because that's the main reason. But Ja'Cory Cross-Gamary is the best player of all those guys. Even, so would you take Bucky and Michael Carter? No, we're not taking on Michael Carter. We don't want no Michael Carter. Michael Carter just doing good. He's just a rental. Ja'Cory Cross-Gamary is long-term, league-winning, top 12 upside for the rest of the season. Top 5 from last week on. That's what he could be. So I'm not giving that up. And Rashad White gonna help you weather the storm too. And then once Bucky comes back, if Bucky ain't right, Rashad will start getting those targets and stuff. So I like the Joy Krosky and Rashad White side. Jay Moore says, looking to go undefeated without Hampton. Yes, you can do it. You don't need Hampton. You don't need Hampton. T33 says, Lamar down and my backup is Dart. Should I pick up someone else? I don't know who's out there, but it's okay to play Dart if you have to and to see what happens. That don't mean you're going to lose. I had Drake May give me 12 points against Buffalo, and I still won that week. So it doesn't matter. One player, that's why I always tell y'all, you're not worried about one bad play. If A.J. Brown gives you 8 points, somebody else should boom, or you drafted a bad team. I said what the hell I said. If you can't get nobody but one person to boom and one person loses you the week, you don't got a good team. I don't care if you only got 3 players that you're starting in a fantasy league. You should have other people that can protect other people. So if your quarterback scored bad, guess what? Your tight end was tight end 1, and your wide receiver was wide receiver 2, you win the week. So Dart should be all right, but if you got, it probably could be a couple more guys that I would like to play over Dart. But if you already got Dart on your squad, I would probably just go ahead and go with Dart. Because if you picked up Dart and you don't play him against a tough matchup and he boom, everything you did is lost. Everything you did is lost. So sometimes you have to play guys against tough matchups and it hits. I had DK Metcalf a couple times throughout his whole career, and it was bad matchups against the number 1 defense, the number 1 corner, and he still came through for me. And it's happened with all different fantasy players. Stacy says he needs a quarterback. I won't get the RB without the quarterback attachment. Okay, so that's fine. If you need to go ahead and throw that in there to get a change so you can go ahead and win and you 2-3, yeah, I get what you're saying. I will go ahead and get off Henry. I love A-Chain so much that I'm willing to make that rotation. Because the A-Chain is going to be fine. Usually I'm telling people, do not get off your stud RB like that, just because his quarterback is hurt. But you get an A-Chain. And A-Chain is possible rumors about him getting traded, saying that Miami is about to start selling their pieces to try to rebuild. So, thought about just waiting it out, wanted your opinion. Yes. It's up to you. I think it's a good move if you get an A-Chain. He's been rumored to be traded, and he's also going to be fine with Tua and Mike McDaniels. Charlene says, guys, let's get the likes up. We got 42 people in here. We only got 22 likes. Let's get the likes up. Charlene says, we also use Fab and save 2 wild card based on points. I never heard of the wild card. I like that. JC says, Eagles going to take away Dart run. I think he's got nobody to throw to. He's going to get sacked a ton. Listen, remember, this is football. Remember, the Cleveland Browns beat Green Bay. So they can muddy this thing up, and Cam Scatterbo can get going. And guess what? The Eagles don't be out there that much on offense. Now, listen, I am picking the Eagles. I'm not trying to sell you on nothing crazy. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that, it's over. I'm not playing. They're going to take away. That's what I would do. I'm like, listen, take away Dart. But you got to be careful because this is NFL players. You take away Dart if you want to, and then Jalen Hyatt hits you with a double move, or Wan'Dale Robinson hits you with a double move, and they score on you. Listen, these guys can score now. They not terrible. They're not high-end NFL players, but they still can score. So for fantasy purposes, I can see Dart being okay, but if I would rather play somebody else if I could help it, right? I get what you're saying. What you mean by what type of cold press? It just says organic, cold press, flash pasteurized. I don't know what that means. Let me know. Big Growing Stuff says, I think with Hampton going down, the Chargers will throw a lot more now. Yes, they will. That's why I like Ladd. The offensive line is bad, but I still think they get the ball out quick. But yes, JC, I agree with you. I like the way you breaking the game script down. That's true. But don't sleep on like one-on-one coverage with Jalen Hyatt or Wan'Dale Robinson or the bow guy that they got. Doomsday says, smash the like button. Good folks, let's get the likes up, guys. We got 50 people, only 23 likes. Come on. Charlene says fantasy football keeps me young. I'm 64. Okay. I don't care nothing about you being 64, Charlene. There's plenty of beautiful women out here that's 64 years old. I know you said you was shy. I ain't coming on camera. Nah, that's not an excuse. Dodge Gaming says Kenneth Walker or Xavier Worthy at the flex. I'm going with Xavier Worthy as long as he's healthy. Make sure he's practicing. Joel says take an extra chromosome or double it and give it to the next person. Let's see. B Growing says pick 2, Walker, Pittman, or Chase Brown. I'm going with Pittman. I'm going with Pittman and Walker over Chase Brown. I'm going with Pittman and Walker. Jermaine says I'm still debating starting Smith. Who's that? Devontae Smith? Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. Nino says, we talked about sending McBride yesterday. I'm totally fine with it now. Should I send CMC plus McBride for Judkins? No, we're not sending no CMC. You squeeze that juice, whatever you can get out of it until it's gone. Remember, we're trying to win here. We're not trying to be the best trader to get off players before they go down. That's not the name of the game. The game is to try to win. So let's run CMC into the ground, and then you get him off your team if he get hurt. We're not going to give nobody else our blessings. We're not giving up our blessings. I don't mind blessing people, but I ain't giving them up. Not when it comes to fantasy football. He's a 4 PPR, big play bonus, wide receivers are Diggs and Jacoby. But no, I'm not giving away no CMC and not CMC for Judkins, Pickens, and Addison. No, I'm not getting for wide receiver 2s when wide receiver 1 comes back. Addison is fine as a wide receiver 3. That's how you win with him. If you got him as a wide receiver 2, he's good value. CMC is where you winning at, and you about to give up your winning piece that you drafted and people were scared of, and he's the number 1 at his position just to get what? You ain't getting Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley or Josh Allen and Jahmyr Gibbs, so I'm not giving up CMC. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Let me move. Okay. Okay. Hennessy Black says, situation says start Rondale. Situation says start Wandale, but I'ma chill and see what happens tonight. Yeah, I get it because it's a bad. I mean, they got the Philly defense is like that. Philly defense is like that, so I get what you're saying. Yeah, so I understand why you're saying you will sit Wandale. Hennessy Black says Theo Johnson a start tonight. Yes, it depends on what you got out there on waivers, depends on what you got on your team, but he's fine to start. He's got a lot of touchdown upside. Thomas says, what up, TD? What up, bro? Thomas says, Bill to the moon. I drafted him in my 12-team home league winner. Yes, sir. Charlene says, Bills DST or 49ers DST? I'll probably go with the Bills DST over the 49ers. Stacy says, thank you, Sugar, anytime. Senor Rojo says, my goal is to go 3-3 by the time Rice came back. So far, I'm 4-1. I'm tied for second. 12-team PPR. ESPN gave me a L for drafting. That's why we don't pay no attention to them draft grades. And I told y'all that. It feels good to get one, but if you don't worry about it. Thomas says PPR flex one. Jaylen Warren versus tough Cleveland D. Haskins versus Miami or Henderson versus New Orleans. Or I could drop Haskins to pick up Bourne for flex if Pearsall or Jennings is a miss. He says flex one. Jaylen Warren versus a tough defense. I'm going with Henderson. But if Juwan Jennings and Pearsall is out, I might play Bourne over Henderson. Big Samson, do you have a deep sleeper to play in a DFS lineup? Yes, tonight, Jalen Hyatt, but on Sunday, I don't know. I haven't looked over the Sunday games yet to see a deep sleeper. TMJ says, love the content, brother. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Big Ham says, thoughts on Brian Thomas Jr. this week. I love him every week. I'm playing him every week. Don't be worried about no Patrick Surtain shutting down your number one wide receiver. Always play your number one wide receiver. It never matters. I said what I said. Don't wait till these other channels start telling y'all, and then y'all come to the channel and we start regurgitating what they said in the same manner that I said it. Because I watch those other channels too. And if y'all start coming like, hey, you know what, I'm going to play my stud because you should play studs that average 15 points a game. And I'm like, uh-oh. You saying the same thing I've been saying, but you didn't got it from somebody else because somebody else said it and then you want to do it. You always play your studs. Charlie Lewis says, yo, do I flex Theo Johnson or Isaiah Bond or Kamani Vidal? I say it's between Theo Johnson and Kamani Vidal. I probably would go with Kamani Vidal because I like playing running backs in the flex over a tight end. But Theo Johnson has really great touchdown value, and he's playing with a team that doesn't have a lot of weapons tonight. So you could play Theo if you want to. But it's a tough matchup. But Kamani, I like Kamani against a great matchup. Sam says, you look nice. Real nice. Thank you. Appreciate that, Sam. Cutting edge content, bro. Big Rowan says, crazy. Jags DST number one right now. 14 turnovers on the season. I'm playing them against the Seattle Seahawks. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Tyler Sperry, what's up, bro? He says, start Bourne, Devontae Smith, Godwin. Start one. Devontae Smith, Godwin, Romeo Dobbs, pick two. Okay. I don't know who Bourne is, but let's see. I probably would say Devontae Smith and Godwin. I mean, not Godwin. Devontae Smith and Romeo Dobbs. Let me know who Bourne is. And Big Will in the house with the $9.99 super chat. Bro, appreciate you. He said, what's up, bro? Can you pick a winning lineup for me? Caleb Williams, Chase Brown, Judkins, Jaylen Warren, Kamara, Haskins, Jamar Chase, Ibuka, Ladd McConkey, Bowers, Tungus, Kendrick Bourne, JMO. Thanks, bro. Okay, so I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one QB, two RBs, two wide receivers, and one flex. So my wide receivers are going to be Jamar Chase, Ibuka, and Ladd McConkey. If Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall is out, then I'm going to play Kendrick Bourne over Ladd McConkey. So, okay, so wait a minute. I said two wide receivers. So wait a minute. Yeah, so I would do Jamar Chase and Ibuka. That's the two wide receivers. The two running backs would be Judkins and Chase Brown. Jaylen Warren is going to have to be in competition with Kenneth Gainwell. Kamara is hurt and nicked up. They're giving Kendre Miller more carries. Haskins, we don't know. It's going to be him or Kamani Vidal. So I'm going to go with Chase Brown and Judkins. For my quarterback, that's easy. We're going with Caleb Williams. I like that you only gave me one. I get what you're saying, so I love that. And my flex play guy, okay, you need a tight end. I would say Tungus. As a tight end over Bowers. He's hurt. He's not going to play. And my flex play will be between Ladd McConkey and Kendrick Bourne. And the only way I would play Kendrick Bourne over Ladd would be if both Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall was out. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Big Ham says England or Mason full PPR. I'm going with Mason. Mason Taylor. JC says so Saquon gets a tutty tonight. Yeah, and it's negative numbers, man. I wanted it to be like a plus 100, but he definitely gets a touchdown tonight. I agree with that, JC. Thomas says the Giants have elevated wide receiver Lil Jordan Humphrey for tonight's game. He could get some real work tonight. It's possible. I'm still going with Jalen Hyatt as a sleeper. Charlene says I have Ayuk in my IR slot for the fourth quadrant player. I don't know, Charlene. I'm worried about his knee. They actually moved his timetable back, so I'm a little bit worried. Oh, Bourne from San Francisco. Okay. So I would say Bourne. You said start two. So Ricky Pearsall was out. I probably would say Bourne and Devontae Smith. Bourne and Devontae Smith. Okay. Thomas says the Giants have. Okay, we did that. When Tyler says so, Kendrick Bourne, Romeo Dobbs, Devontae Smith, Godwin, pick two. I'm going with Kendrick Bourne and Devontae Smith. And JC says, don't forget about Danny Bellinger as a double tight end. Yeah, he may score. I might pick him to score anytime touchdown, but I'm definitely not starting him in fantasy. What up, Frizz? What's up, bruh? Is Haskins or Vidal even worth a stash? Hell yeah, they worth a stash. They're going to be there for 4 weeks. Nah, don't leave that mess. You get both of them, and you see who comes out fighting, and then you can play that next week, or you can trade them. But definitely stash them if you got room on your team. Charlie says, I got to go. Thanks, TD. Anytime. JC said, if Tuba don't play, would you go with Rico over Jalen Warren? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Against the Cowboys, this is a revenge game. So I'm playing Rico if Tuba don't play. If Tuba plays, then I might pivot. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Rico all day, yes. Yep. No, I don't think Tuba's a buy low. I'm worried about Tuba, not as a talent, but as the situation because of Rico. But maybe he might be late on, but I can't give you a go or a no on it yet. So I'm gonna say no, he's not a buy low. So that is Bourne and Devontae Smith, yes. Cameron says T-Mac or Flowers in the flex. I'm going with T-Mac this week, just for this week, over Flowers. What are the rest of your season rankings for those two? So Lamar's out. It's gonna be T-Mac over him. Loans, the guy for the stuff going on right now. As long as the quarterback is healthy from Carolina, I'm going with T-Mac rest of the season. For the season, but rest of this quadrant and into Lamar. When Lamar gets back, it's Flowers again. JC says, okay, survivor pick, Steelers or Packers, just need to win outright. Packers. Big Will says, do you think Isaiah Likely will still boom this season, or are we looking to fade him? I think he's going to be a third and fourth quadrant guy. I think they still need him, so stash him if you can. Thomas says, would you trade Ibuka and Harvey for Lamb? If I'm already up and I got a good team and I can afford to wait, yes. Yes. I think J-Mo's going to have some big games. I think he's worth to be on your roster, man. And if you got him, you're probably going to miss the boom if you don't play him. And I'm not telling you to play him, but that's how it is. If you don't play him, you're going to miss the boom game. Ibuka is a league winner, most definitely. Even if he don't play no more, he's a league winner. He got you 5-1 or 6-1 or whatever. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all make sure I got something going on later. I'm going to try to tune in for the good hour. But if I might not be there, but y'all still support that channel. You super chat and do all of that. But you tell them, if you super chat and I'm not there, you tell them to get to your question. Say, listen, TD said y'all got to get to the questions if I super chat. So if y'all super chat, make sure they get to your question immediately. But I'm gonna try to get there. I got something going on right now that's important. So that's why I had to do this live earlier. I'm 5-0 in stack. Okay, so you can wait. Thomas says it's fun having Ibuka and JSN. Yes, sir. All right. See you later, Senor Real, huh? Y'all be safe. Peace.